In this video, we will review how to set up devices that can be used to connect Jonas Encore to third-party applications. Devices can be used for cache drawers, signature captures, and activity tracking. We will also briefly review device rules that are utilized for the activity tracking module. Device rules are used for the activity tracking module. Upon installation of the activity tracking module, your Jonas Encore system will typically already have a device rule in place, which is used for member check-in rules for activity tracking. You can edit this rule as needed, or you can create additional rules by selecting the default rule, then selecting the duplicate button, or create a new rule by selecting the new button. For example, I have two rules, one for 15 minutes between check-ins and one for 30 minutes between check-ins. If you are duplicating your existing rule or creating a new rule, enter a description for the rule with a max of 35 characters. Make sure the active field is flagged so that this rule can be attached to a device. In the applicable rules section, select the rule that has been created for you, then select the configure button. In the configuration screen, if applicable, the auto check-in field must be selected to ensure that automatic check-ins can be performed. In the check-in settings section, you can limit the time frame between a client's last check-in and their next check-in by entering the minimum number of hours and/or minutes of gap time between check-ins. By doing so, you can avoid overcounting check-ins and therefore maintain an accurate record of check-in information. For example, a member checks in for a 30-minute fitness exercise session. During the session, they go outside the facility and return to check in once again. The check-in device has a rule set for a minimum of 30 minutes of time between the check-ins. The second entry, therefore, would not count. This can be set to a max of 59 minutes. Select the green checkmark to save your changes. If you have made any adjustments to the device rule, select Save. Use the Devices program to set up devices that can be used to connect Jonas Encore to third-party applications. Select New to set up a new device, or select an existing device to review or make edits to it. In the General tab, enter a quick access code with a max of 10 characters and a description with a max of 35 characters. The Type field contains a list of choices available for selection. These choices are hard-coded in the system and therefore cannot be modified. The types of devices available for selection depend upon whether you are using any beacons or network-connected check-in devices. Select the appropriate type for this device. The Rule field allows you to select an applicable device rule if this device is to be used for activity tracking. Otherwise, this can be set to not applicable. The Company to Use field is used to identify the company in which this device is applicable. If this device is used in the activity tracking module, the Used in Activity Tracking field must be selected. If selected, you can also define whether this device requires client check-in and/or requires a workstation. For example, the device is attached to a workstation. Ensure that the active field is selected so the device can be used. In the Activities tab, use the eligible column to select the activity types that are associated with this device. Once you have configured the device, select Save and repeat this process to set up additional devices as required. Now that the device is set up, you can assign it to the appropriate workstation. Select the workstation you want to assign the device to, or set up a new workstation as required. For more information on setting up a workstation, watch the video titled Workstation Setup. Select Devices tab, and select an empty row. If required, enter a description with a max of 40 characters, and select the pre-created device. Identify the device manufacturer/model if required. The list of options depends upon the selected type of device. Ensure Active is flagged so that the device can be used with this workstation. Use the Configure button to configure custom settings for this workstation if required. The appearance of this screen depends upon the selected type of device. Use the Test button to perform a test run. If your device is set as an activity tracking device, select the Activity Tracking tab and configure the applicable settings as required. Once you're done making your adjustments, don't forget to select Save. Thanks for watching, stay tuned for more how-to videos, and don't forget to subscribe.